Welcome back to D1 Coaches Spot. This is a show where we share the ins and outs of college athletics and help parents with clear advice for them to use with their athletes that are trying to go into Division One athletics. Today, we're going to talk about some really important topics like overcoaching, the importance of social media in athletics, and also mentoring. You know, how important it is to have a mentor. We have an amazing guest today. So, David, who's here with us today?
Yeah, welcome back, listeners. David Witty here. Very excited. I've known this young man since he was 12 years old. He used to be a tennis player, high-level tennis player, Jantzen Witte out of Dallas. And I still remember perfectly when he beat my player. No, maybe my player beat you. That's right. He cheated you.
Who was it?
Pete Rispoli. He made a foul.
Shout out to Pete Rispoli, bro. Yeah, I do.
But you know what makes it so interesting? So Jantzen Witte grew up playing tennis and baseball, and at some point had to decide in between the two sports. We'll talk about that. Jantzen played for TCU. Started every game for TCU his senior year. Played third base, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Here at TCU, and then you were on the pro leagues for about 12 years or so.
Yeah.
AAA baseball. You were in different teams with the Red Sox and the Mariners and the Padres. And then you went and played in Puerto Rico. And then you went and played in Japan.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Ohio gozaimasu. Nihongo hanashimashika.
You know more than me, bro.
Yeah, I studied. That was my minor at TCU. Was Japanese.
No way.
Yeah, but
No way. That's awesome.
So, I mean, so much to share. So many questions I want to ask you because of you. Not only have you lived it as a player, but you've been working with parents and student athletes that are in that high school level, that middle school. So you have that perspective as well. You've done them both for a long time, 50 years or so, and you're so in tune with what's happening in social media. You know, I'm 52, so this whole social media is a new thing for me. But you're a lot young. You're 36 years old, if I'm right. And January 4th, 1990.
52,
I'm 52.
You look good, man.
Thank you. You look good too.
Hey, thanks, bro. Look at us.
A parent.
Yeah,
how many
man.
kids
Three
you got?
boys. Three boys.
Oh, three boys. Man.
4, 2, and 4 months.
Oh
Okay,
man,
wow.
you're right in the.
We're in it, bro.
I mean, you're in the dark.
But you know
dark.
what? Being a dad, it's hilarious. Like, I get so many compliments because I'll take the boys places and they're like, wow, super dad. Like, how do you do it? And then my wife will take them, nothing. You know, it's like to be expected.
Hey, we'll talk about expectations. That's a
Hey, I
great
like
point.
that.
You know, people expect.
Expectations
So,
are good, yeah.
anyways, so Jantzen, let's get right to it. You grew up playing baseball and tennis, high level. You were top 7 in the nation in tennis. And then somebody told me, your coach, I remember Dion said, he's actually better in baseball. I'm like, what? And at 14, you decide to just do baseball, and you end up playing Division One at one of the best baseball programs in the country at TCU. Tell us about your experience as a young man growing up, doing both, balancing both, and then how did you come to that sort of fork on the road where you made a decision of sticking with baseball?
Yeah, I think all athletes, it comes to a point to where if you want to play college baseball, at some point you need to make a decision of which sport to lean into. And for me, it wasn't necessarily that I was better at baseball, I don't think. I think I might have been better at tennis, but I really gravitated towards baseball. It was very fun, and it got to be freshman year of high school. And for any tennis guys out there, like, junior tennis is more competitive than high school, at least where I was in Texas. And so it got to be to where baseball was just more fun, and I could like kind of see my future a little bit more making sense logistically of, man, I'm here at school, I go to practice, I get better, and hopefully I can play college baseball. Whereas tennis, I was going to have to drive to an academy, drive to Brookhaven. It got to be a little bit much, and I kind of fell out of love a little bit with it, and so stuck with baseball. And I still think about tennis today, though. That was the good times.
It was 14 that you decided to.
Yeah, my freshman year in high school.
Okay.
I remember when it went down, my mom, she's like, hey, you ready to go to practice today? And it wasn't my dad. I think my dad, I would have gone to practice. But my mom, I was like, I don't really want to go to practice today. She's like, really? Like, all right, we can stay back. Like, I was kind of tired. Next day, she's like, hey, you ready to go to practice? I was like, kind of don't really want to go today. And it was like, okay, well, I guess that was like legitimately how it started. And so I just was tired. I just wanted to do one thing. And so it was kind of weird how it all played out, but that's kind of how it started.
And it's like how that, like you have to listen to yourself, listen to your body. And you were a kid, right? So it's hard. But, in volleyball, in beach volleyball, mostly the girls play both, right? Till a certain age. They play high school indoor for a long time, or like middle school, and then they're playing beach too. And then it comes to a time that they're burnt out, or they really need to make a decision. And sometimes like parents are asking, like, when is the good time to make a decision for a multi-sport athlete, right? And I think that's perfect. When you notice that your athlete is just like not that motivated, or it's a burden, or he can't manage academics, schoolwork, social life, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
Would you say that?
I agree. And I think some sports you can pull it off a little bit longer. Like for me, tennis and baseball was a lot of the same season. And so it felt like it was consistently taking away from one or the other based on which one I was choosing that day. And you guys know tennis. I'm sure volleyball is the same, but tennis, it's such a fine-tuned sport that if you go take a week off, you feel lost getting back when these guys are training every single day. And so that was just how it worked out with me. I think more power to you. If you're able to play both sports for longer and you love it and you're pulling it off, keep going, Like I think there's an epidemic now of people like, funneling their kids into one position, into one sport at a way too young of an age. They need to play everything.
100%. There's no doubt that being specialized in one sport from a younger age, not only is it not developmental, because you're very limited in as to whether it's the movements or the athletic ability, the instincts that you develop by playing a bunch of different sports.
Yes.
Different, but not only that, but also that the injuries that we're seeing as you get older. We have a player that grew up playing, and from a very young age, at 5 years old, he's hitting 1 million tennis balls his whole life, never played another sport. There was a distinct difference between the way he moved on the tennis court, the lack of movement, because he was always tennis, compared to other players that grew up playing other sports. And also, his body was just breaking down in college because of all that just one side sport, repetitive, your back, your hips. So that's a great piece of information for those parents out there. And that's a great point. That's a big question that parents we're always asking. I have a 11-year-old, a 9-year-old. They play hockey, they play tennis, they play baseball, soccer, football. There are some sports that combine a little bit better.
True.
So baseball, maybe you can pull off baseball and like football.
I think that's kind of I mean, we're in Texas, dog.
That's right.
Football, baseball.
Yeah, because you have fall and spring.
Yeah, and I think it's really hard. I mean, we had a friend, Chad Huffman. He did both in college, and that is insane to go. You're under Coach Patterson at TCU, you play football all fall, and then you come out there and roll out in the spring, and you're expected to play. And you got drafted in the 3rd round. Like it's crazy. These guys that can pull it off, it's next level. But some sports work together. For me, tennis and baseball, it was not a good mix.
And also, was there a decision too that had to do with individual sport and team sport?
For me, I mean, internally, baseball was so much more fun. Like, but I recommend every parent, your kid needs to play at least one individual sport, like for the mental side of things and like feeling that. I think pressure is good. I think we limit kids from too many things today, but like for me, I feel like it really helped me grow as a person and an athlete of that weight of you traveled to California for a tournament and you're playing like crap and you're supposed to beat this guy and you're losing. Like you either fold or you figure out a way to put it together. Yeah. And I lost a lot of those matches and I cried. You know, like that's like that was how
you cried when Pete beat you.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I'm telling you, there was a double bounce and your dad just laid into Pete as soon as Pete came off the court. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely when you're an individual sport, you're out there, you're exposed. Yeah. There is no coaching. You know, a sport like tennis, you can't hide. Yeah, you can't take a timeout and somebody takes you out and then you get to reset. It's all on you. So the individual sports like golf, tennis, boxing,
Oof.
You know, track might be a little more. Even I would
Beach
even say beach
volleyball a little
volleyball.
bit
It's just
because they
doubles.
target your weaknesses and you can't. There's no subbing either, and there's no coach on court, so it's hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll serve to you every time. I think in beach volleyball.
Like if you're a
the weak
bad
link.
setter,
At least
they
you-
serve your partner all the time.
But
yeah.
you got a teammate there to come
Yeah,
slap
at
you on the
least
butt,
like
you know?
and
Like,
you high five. It's fun.
yeah.
It
You
is
got to
fun,
get the
yeah.
high fives and
Yeah.
slaps on the butt. That means a lot.
It's unbelievable.
It means
really
so
does.
much.
I mean, it's just it's just
Yeah.
everybody's just slapping everybody all the
Unbelievable.
time. Tennis player, that'd be funny if they
Well,
did
because
that.
you
You know?
have a racket in your hand, so you don't have
Yeah.
one hand available.
Hey, baseball, we're slapping butts left and right. I mean,
Yeah.
that was kind of my shtick, bro. I like getting everybody going. I like touching hands.
You know, you have sports like track and football that those go together. You know, you
Yeah.
see that all the time. So I guess the answer to that question, it just kind of depends what the sports are.
Mhm.
We've talked about the advantages of playing an individual sport and then all the lessons that you learn from playing a team sport.
Oh yeah.
In the locker room, playing time, playing a role,
Yes.
Everyone has to buy
fitting in. I mean, I feel
Fine.
like, tell us about the culture in baseball. I feel like it's all about that locker room.
Yeah, in college especially, you know, and that's for me. Like, if you can play, if you're a baseball player and you're like, you want to play college baseball, please work your tail off to make it happen because it is the best time of your life. Like, you will never have that camaraderie again of just that locker room, and you leave the field and you're all together always. Like, the best team I was on at TCU, we went to Omaha. We were the closest team I've ever been a part of. Like, we did everything together, and that to me is just, you don't get that when you go to pro ball. When you go to pro ball, it's like, yeah, we're a team. We want to win games a little bit, but like, I'm in it for myself. And so that was kind of a cool blend of growing up playing an individual sport where it's like, you're focused on yourself, but it's also impossible to come from TCU in a team sport to where it's like, I want to win. I want everybody. You had guys in pro ball that you could feel you play the same position, you would have a good game and they're a little bummed out. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, how can you not? It's not in my blood to like not be able to root for somebody when they get a hit. You know, it's like, come on, bro. Like I feel like things work out when you support everybody around you, and that's what's great about team sports.
Yeah, it's natural to feel that way. You know, internally, it's a normal. You're competing. You want to play, so it's okay to feel it. I feel like it's not okay to show it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You just have to pretend like you're really happy, and we see that. You know,
Sure.
in the line, like guys like
and it's okay. And it's okay to be both. You can. Be, it's both.
Yeah.
You're
That's the
bummed.
most natural.
It's both.
No,
It's
and
both.
you want them to also, want their spot and to compete and to strive and healthy comparison, right? Like, okay, like this guy is taking my spot, blah blah blah. But at the same time, like, how can I beat him in a healthy way, right? How can I be better to earn my spot, not take his spot away, earn my spot, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, I had a
that was
weird
it, right?
experience. So I went to Japan. I signed as a third baseman. And the third baseman who was there, I didn't really know until I got there, is a legend. I mean, this guy was like 40 years old, home run hitter,
Japanese.
Japanese guy, yeah. Nakamura-san. And awesome dude. But it's like they signed me to take his spot. And now we're sitting right there taking ground balls together and hitting together. And it's always this really awkward dynamic of like, I want to pay. Everybody walks up and pays their respects to him, like legend, and it's like.
So they bow lower, right? That's how it works
Yeah,
in
I mean,
Japan. If
dude,
you're lower, you bow lower.
Yeah, well, it was
If you-
just ultimate respect. I don't know exactly, but with him,
that's
it
how
was
it is.
definitely some respect. We had a bunch of guys on our
Yeah,
team
if
like
you
that.
if I consider, like, if you're my boss, I would bow lower than you
Sure.
to show my respect that I go lower.
You ever watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah.
You gave me a half bow. Oh, whatever.
Yeah,
You have to watch the episode. It's hilarious.
Okay, I'll watch it.
So not only were you playing pro ball for those 13 years, 12 years out there, at the same time in your off season, you're working with young men, maybe some young women, I don't know, softball,
Nah, it was
maybe.
boys at the time. but
Mostly boys. So tell us, what are some, because you were fresh off playing college, and here you are working with young student athletes and their parents. What would you say are the 3 biggest mistakes that parents make, or you've noticed they made, in the whole developmental recruiting process?
I feel like there's two big ones that stick out, and it's overcoaching and then social media today. So overcoaching, I feel like parents want the best for the kids, and so they start feeding them individual lessons at like 6 years old. And to me, it's too specialized, and you don't need all these inputs coming into this kid. Like for baseball, he needs to go out there, get a whiff ball bat, and go have fun and just figure it out. Like figure out how to hit the ball hard. Doesn't matter what things look like. Like the less input they have, I think the more natural things are. And so I think that is an epidemic today, and I think it rolls right into the social media side of things to where you don't know who to trust, and everyone's an expert. And you know, the guys who have big followings, they're really good at grabbing your attention and holding your attention, but they're not necessarily the best coaches. And so when you've got all these kids today, and I fell into it when I was in pro ball, so I feel for kids today that are in junior high and high school that have phones. It's like you want to get better, so you look at all these swings and look at all these drills, and you go try everything you see, but you fall down some rabbit holes that you don't need to go into. And what I have found is that a lot of times I see kids try things that I don't think are the best. It's the parents, the ones that are feeding it, because they think the parents are newer to social media than the kids are. They have a more understanding, whereas I think the parents get even more wrapped up in like, hey, let's go try this. This is the right way. Like, look at this guy. Look at how he's doing it. And it's oftentimes, in my experience, it's when players have so much input, they feel lost, and they don't know their own swings. They don't know how to make adjustments. And so I feel like overcoaching is a real epidemic. Social media, it's you don't know who to trust, and you're just trying everything you see. And then when you get to be in high school, you should be using social media to get exposure for yourself and showcase yourself to college coaches. But instead, they're just sitting there scrolling all day, and they're not posting anything that would actually be helpful for their career. And so I don't think social media is going anywhere. And I think if you're an athlete and you want to play college sports, you might as well use it. Like, it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, and use it wisely. Yeah, for recruiting, like showcase yourself for any sport, right? I was telling you, beach volleyball athletes do it a lot. Indoor volleyball athletes use it a lot. But also NIL, start building your brand.
Absolutely.
And then you know how to use it. But then you see kids that do stuff in social media that we as coaches see, or like a brand sees it. It's like, no, this is gonna hurt you. So understand.
Like what, Majo? Be specific. I'm a parent. I want to know exactly what you just said. Tell me, what are some of the mistakes that you see some kids make out there in social media?
Like basically, sometimes that they're either, you could say, like they're either too focused on the social life. It's not that that's bad. But you can see that, they're more worried about how they look, how this and that, who are they with, blah, blah, blah. So then it can give you the wrong idea. Maybe the kid is not like that, but it can give you like, okay, is this kid wanting to come to college for what? To party, to be in a sorority, or to work hard and to earn a spot and be like, create an impact in our program? What it is.
Did you... I think I heard you say before that some of those athletes may have two accounts. Yeah. One is kind of like their personal life and sort of, but then the other one is for recruiting purposes. Would you advise parents to do that?
I would advise to do it, but also it doesn't mean that your personal account, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
Because I think me as a coach, I look at both accounts and see like, okay, what type of kid I'm getting, like what is she interested in? It's not that you're stalking them, but at least you want to see like, that is the kid, the athlete that is going to come, is going to wear our jersey, is going to represent our school when we're on the planes, when we are like in a restaurant, when they're like out and, you have kids that are like, they go to parties, they do that, but are they going to be the kids that they know how to behave themselves, they're going to have fun. Don't get me wrong. We all want them to have fun. But at the same time, they're a brand. And
your job depends on it as a coach. Like, is this kid dependable?
Yeah.
And I feel like social media, I totally agree. Like, if you have one account, you might as well make two, one for recruiting purposes. But as a coach or coaches, like, if you could see a junior in high school that you see their posts and you're like, oh, wow, like this kid, he looks the part. Something stands out to you. Like, you go to his page and you scroll down. If you can see his progress over time of like, dang, that's what he looked like 3 months ago. Like, he's clearly in the weight room. He's clearly working on his craft. Like, I like this kid, like he's, as a baseball guy, it's like, The term is cage rat. Like, this guy's in the cage a lot. He cares.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're willing to post and you're willing to consume, you might as well be willing to post. Show your progress. Like, be willing to put yourself out there and showcase yourself as like, man, I'm putting in the work, you know, like it's because at least in baseball, sometimes it's one opportunity. Like a coach sees you make one diving play and it's like, who's this kid? Like he's on my radar. If you can now do that online to where they come across one post and now they click your profile and it's optimized to where like, oh man, this kid is dialed in. Like, look at his GPA. Here's a 60-yard dash. Like we could work with somebody like this potentially, invite him to a camp. Now I get to get my hands on him. I like this kid a lot. Like you get to establish a relationship before just showing up to a camp, you know, where you're just another face, another name. Like, let these guys see you and figure out who you are a little bit before they get to invite you to something. I think it's huge.
You know, I went to Spain and to a showcase, and I meet this 15-year-old, 16-year-old that's probably top 5, top 10 in Spain, but not considered a super stud, but good, obviously. At our level, we're basically recruiting semi-professionals.
Yeah, it's incredible. Shout out to you and the Frogs.
He's not that. He's a good tennis player. In general terms, a good tennis player. But there was something about him that caught my eye. It was the way he communicated with me, the way he competed, the way his focus just, it wasn't your typical 15, 16-year-old. And then when we were allowed to start communicating with him, he was never available. He was always training or studying and never on his phone. And the dad's like, yeah, he's never on his phone. I'm like, what 16-year-old is never on his phone? You got to be kidding me. He's like, yeah, he like leaves it at home sometimes, forgets it.
It's awesome.
And I said, okay, we're going to offer this kid a full scholarship, even though his ranking right now is not where it ought to be for us.
Yeah.
And even Devin questioned me, like, why? I'm like, look, this guy, he's just all in. He's just dialed in, focused. All he needs is time and exposure. He's going to be, you know, dad was a professional basketball player. He's going to be good size. And he's just so focused. We almost got him. He was so conservative. We offered him something we shouldn't have offered at the time based on his. Fast forward, his name is Rafael Hodar. He is the best 19-year-old in the world right now.
Wow.
20. He won the U.S. Open Junior.
Wow.
Became a stud at Virginia. We lost him by nothing. Still hurts. Love the guy.
Come on, Rafael.
I know. I know. He broke our heart. She remembers the day he decided to go to Virginia. So, you know, just for parents out there, like coaches are paying attention and we're looking beyond the what you know, the stats, I guess.
Exactly.
And when you're social media, you're showcasing those. For you, I would have thought, if I would have been recruiting you for tennis, I'm like, here you have a young man that's been playing half the time tennis, half the time baseball. The day he becomes tennis only, it'll be interesting to see how much more. He's competing with the rest of the country, yet half the time he's spending hitting baseballs.
Yeah. Ceiling's got to be raised, right? When you're able to go all in.
Absolutely. That we pay attention to those things. And you learn some skills. There's some players currently on our team that I think the fact that they didn't play other sports growing up are hurting them today.
It shows.
Just little athletic movements that you develop just playing, you know. Everything's so specialized. We as coaches in every sport, we're trying to monetize and get these kids, you know, to take lessons all the time, and it's just not the right way.
And their identity. Like, if you only play one sport, I am a tennis player. When you're able to play these other things and you fail at other sports, you have this totally different worldview of like who you are as a person.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it's extremely valuable. Extremely. And I wanted to touch on one thing you brought up with Rafael, that he wasn't on his phone. Freaking props to him and his parents, because I almost said this earlier. I feel like use social media for you, but there's a lot of parents out there, and I'm going to be one of them, where it's like, my kid's not going to be on this, you know? And so it's like, don't let them get sucked into it. And if you want your kid away from it, perfect. I think the parent could run an Instagram account of posting, hey, here's my son, here's his progress. Like, you're already recording the videos.
Yeah.
Figure out a way to just post them. Like, I don't think the kid necessarily has to do it.
No.
Because like you saw right there, it's like, I kind of like being the guy it's hard to get a hold of. It's like, look, when I'm with my family, I don't have my phone. So like, that's most of my day.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
I'm sorry, you know?
I felt like I was
no.
taking away from your family.
Bro, dude, bro.
I could hear your,
When I'm like, that's
I
a
could hear
different
your
name.
son. I could hear your son in the
we're
back.
driving back from Austin, man. That was a car ride right there.
Well, that's.
But you know what I mean? It's like, it's heartbreaking for me as a parent, and I'm sure you'll go through it. Like, it's like junior high and high school kids today, it's like the parents didn't know that social media is like just not good, you know? Whereas these younger kids now, it's like they're not going to be on it. Like, they're not. But you can still use it for exposure for your kid. It's a really good way to get eyes on your child, you know, from where you want to go.
Yeah, it's such a hard. I don't want to say like I don't want to confuse our parents or listeners that we're sending two different messages. It's just you got to know how you're using social media, and I do believe there is a direct correlations with ability to focus. I don't know how baseball guys do it because there's so much free time
Yeah.
to lose your focus. But in tennis, I mean, when you're in the middle of a point, you're, as you know, you're dialed in. You lose your focus 1 millisecond, you lose that point.
Yep.
And then be able to reset and be ready to play the next point, just like beach volleyball or volleyball. A little bit different than baseball. I think you can talk about that. But a kid that's always on the phone, I know for a fact, man, this guy doesn't have the ability to focus.
Yeah.
He's gonna. So, you know, it's scary. It's scary. So as a parent, just being aware. I think it starts with awareness of how much are they on their phone. Are they trying to do a million things at once? Majo, you can talk about that. I mean, you and I both have ADD, probably,
ADHD,
I
yes,
assume,
yes.
ADHD. You're
Yeah,
the
we do.
expert. You're the one with the...
I think like we
Education.
touched this subject in another episode about how the brain works and the dopamine hits that we crave for, right? And with social media and just like constant being hooked into something, you get this constant dopamine hits that are like, okay, I feel good, you know, like instead of like, I'm gonna work really hard to do this and to earn this, you kind of like see someone else doing it and it's kind of cool. So you're satisfying that in your brain
While you're sitting on the couch.
while you're sitting in the couch. So the kids are constantly getting this dopamine hits and satisfying their brain constantly, that then the hard work doesn't pay off anymore because I can get this like quicker, you know, if I want to see this, if I want to pretend that I have this lifestyle or that I'm like a pro player, like playing in the Dallas Open or whatever, I'm just watching all these videos. Oh my God, this is cool. It's fun. Look at this. Oh, the interviews, this and that. And you're listening. And I'm like, instead, you can be just working towards that.
Yeah.
Right. And making sure that you're helping your athletes, your kids, train that reward system to be a little bit longer than instant gratification.
Sure.
Does it make sense what I'm saying?
That makes perfect sense. And I really feel like it's not even the kid's fault. It's like this thing has been built to suck us in, you know? I mean, how many people when you wake up, you want to go, you know, turn it on? Can I go one step lower though?
Yeah,
like from a baseball perspective.
Yeah, absolutely.
If your screen time, if you're looking at this thing this far away all day, like what is going on with your vision? Like, it is so hard to see a baseball and see the seams and see the spin, and you need to see it early out of his hand. Like, tennis, too, reading a serve and all these different things. Like, you have kids now that wear glasses. You're just, how are you supposed to see a ball from far away? I feel like on even, you know, the brain, go on to it, I don't know, but I feel like from an eyeball perspective, kids have to be getting worse at picking up the ball and seeing the ball, and that is scary for me.
Yeah.
That's an unbelievable point.
Yeah,
I've never thought about it. I know my eyes because I'm always on the phone. I mean, I don't have an office, so every email, text, everything, I do everything off the phone. My eyes have completely deteriorated, whatever the word is, have gotten worse.
Yeah.
The last 2 or 3 years, and just down here, and they're worse every day. I feel like every day I'm getting more powerful glasses, and I know 100% it's the phone.
Yeah.
And when I hit with the guys now, I'm at the net.
Right?
I'm at the net. I'm not picking up the ball as
Yeah.
easy. That's a great point. Agassi was famous for having a great return.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out he had great eyesight.
Of course.
So
It's amazing.
No, the eyesight
It's huge.
No, but the for us like volleyball players, that now that I'm coaching, young girls again, youth, like you can totally tell who can't like doesn't have a good sight because the ball's too close to them all the time, and then their
interesting.
technique, their form, their touch is completely different because of that.
I wore contacts, and when I looked back, and my friends or guys I played with that were the best hitters, none of them had contacts. They all had incredible. Jason Coates in college, I mean, he was like 2010. I'm like, how is it like what? That's crazy. And I got to pro ball. It's across the board. The best athletes, they have incredible vision.
it makes sense.
Yeah,
So don't sabotage.
Yeah,
yourself,
don't
That's,
you know?
that's a
sabotage.
huge point.
Yeah, that's
Tennis
good.
and
That's
baseball.
great.
I mean, even
Yeah.
volleyball, right?
Right,
Sure.
The
everything.
distance. We already practiced this morning, and I must have said the word space, create space, create
Same with
space
baseball.
a million
Same with volleyball.
times.
Wow, interesting.
And it's wow. Okay, that's awesome perspective there. So you're now working with the young middle school.
Mostly high school and college guys. I mean, I want to get guys ready for the D1 level.
Yeah,
It's
so
very similar.
How can people get a hold of you? You live in the DFW area. How can a freshman in high school get a hold of you?
Yeah, go to my Instagram. It's at Jantzen Witty, JANTZEN WITTE. Hit me up there. Take a look at the content, see if you like it, and you can message me anytime. Yeah, hit me in the DMs. I've got YouTube, everything else, but I think it starts with Instagram for me.
I enjoy watching your videos,
Thanks.
and it is very obvious to me, and one of the reasons that we wanted you to be is that, to me, I can really feel that you care to do it the right way. That the reason you're doing what you're doing. Obviously, we all have to make a living, and you have an expertise. You've been there. You can mentor. We can talk about mentoring,
Yeah.
and I know
That's my
you're very.
favorite thing.
I mean, I know that I can feel it. I can feel it through your videos. Like, you really want to help these young men do it the right way and get them not to make the mistakes that some others are making, or maybe that you made.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you that I can feel that in your videos, and as a parent, that's who I want working with my son.
Man, I appreciate that a lot because, as y'all know, like making content, making podcasts, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is.
And it's not just going out there and filming. It's what takes place afterwards. It's so much work. And so, but it's important. I think I feel like I've got a duty to help kids go through the same. All the kids now, they are having the same issues that I had growing up. Same mechanical issues, the recruiting process. Kids are lost, and parents are even more lost. And so it's just crazy to me when I look back at myself in high school. It's the exact same thing, with all this technology and everything else. And so I take a lot of pride in helping guys get better and just speed up the process of getting ready for that top D1 level, because it's a big deal. College coaches, if you have a kid who walks in, who is dialed in, who understands, focus on the process over results, they're disciplined, they're dependable, those are your favorite athletes.
You say thank you God for sending
Yeah.
this kid to our
100%.
program.
It's a big deal.
100%.
And it's just grooming them and helping, help them. For me, I had Coach Slosh as my coach in college, and I loved him. And he didn't teach me much about baseball. He taught us discipline. He taught us how to be a better person, or how to show up on time. And those are things you can help high school kids with. And parents are extremely busy. I feel for parents so hard. Go to work all day, come home, dinner, then the kids have homework. It's like, when do you have time to work with them?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, instead of being on social media, come hang out with us in our training platform and talk to real current and former pro players. And let's help build your game from not just the swing, but all facets of if you can become a better person, I feel like you'll be a better player.
Yeah.
And let's get that before they get to college.
Well, the main qualities, characteristics that they're going to need the moment they walk into that team. What it's going to be like, and what's going to help them succeed, not just getting the scholarship or getting the spot, but succeeding once you get to college. And I know Majo, her whole company, Growth performance is doing exactly that. Not just help them navigate the recruiting process to get an opportunity to be on a team, but once you pick your team, now be ready so that when you get there, you're more prepared and you know what to expect. There's, it's not all flowers and rainbows out there.
Opposite.
It's the opposite. It's pure challenges and resilience and grit, discipline, accountability. Just that alone.
Huge.
You just said it. It's hard as a parent to hold your kid accountable when you're busy with your own work and your own life, but to have someone like you that will hold them accountable, because you know that it's like, hey, this right here may not seem like a big deal today because you're 14 and it's like, oh, okay, you're just 14. No, this continues. You're never going to see playing time. There's no way Coach Sarlos or Coach Slosh is going to give you the opportunity, because he wants that reliable, accountable guy that has that discipline that you can rely on a daily basis.
And your teammates as well. You want somebody next to you on the court that is going to take care of business and is going to show up every single time the same, unless something's going on. But like you see it with like teammates, right?
Yeah.
You pick it up like this. But I love what you're saying about mentorship, because you need to walk with them. And then Jantzen, I know you have a community in school, and I love that you're doing that, because within like building a community online or in person is where you can build those habits as a community, like helping each other, supporting each other, and growing together, right? So tell us a little bit more about what you do in your school community, because I think you're doing a great job, and more kids should join.
And by school community, you mean the platform, the name of the platform,
School. Yes.
Skool. It's an awesome place.
Yes.
And so what we like to do, it's not just working with me and other former pro players, but it's going to be around other kids just like you that, like you said, dopamine hits and social media. It's like, you get to actually be friends with these kids and see like, man, Mark's going up to the cage today. Like, I'm going to go hit too, and all these kids have the same questions. You get to answer them all at once, and just being around a community of guys. And so that's why I love Skool, Skool. If you go to my Instagram, you can click the link in my bio. It's free to join. And I really feel like I want my information to be better than a lot of paid information, and I give it away for free. And so if you want to get better, come join our school community. I will look at your swing as soon as you join, tell you exactly what I think you need to work on and what to focus on. And, come get better with us together. But I think the community aspect is really, really big. And so we also, last night I had a group call to where once a week we hop on, we all hang out and talk baseball together. And I'll bring a lot of pro coaches and college coaches, pro players. It's pretty cool that if I were in high school and I got to talk to a current big league player, and the big league player is looking at my swings and giving me feedback and telling me, a high school player, hey man, swing looks really good. Like, that's impressive. That's better than I was when I was in high school. It's like, holy smokes, dude, this guy's with the Marlins right now. Like, to give that to kids every single month, every week, it's incredible.
And it's real. And it's real. You just want the best for them. You just say, look, you can believe whatever you want, but I'm telling you, if you don't fix this part of your swing, as soon as the ball gets a little bit faster, you're just going to be late every time.
And it's obvious to us because we've lived it. But parents, parents have blinders, and it's like you just can't see you don't know what you're missing. And to talk about mentorship too, it's like, as a parent, or for me, there's times I get to be these kids' brothers. I get to be their uncle. And there's other times I got to be their coach. Like, I had a kid the other day. I'm like, hey, let's hop on a call. Like, when are you available tomorrow? He's like, well, I've got class at 9. I'm like, well, let's hop on a call before. He's like, I have a roommate. He's asleep. I'm like, get your ass outside, get on your computer, and let's hop on a call. Like, I don't need to ask you multiple times if you want to hop on a call. Like, if you want to get better, like, let's go. You got to make it happen. So you gotta light a fire sometimes, and you can't always be the mom and just love them to death, which is amazing, but they need it.
Right.
But at the same time, I get to kind of
be the bad guy a little bit. Be the pushy
man, you get
guy.
to be the coach.
But it's like accountability is love. Like if I've like always told my athletes is, if I hold you accountable and I there's certain standards I want you to hit, it's because I believe that you can do it. If I don't hold you accountable to those standards, I'm doing a disservice to you.
Yep.
It's not, why am I here?
You want the coach to be on you. If the coach never looks at you, there's a problem. He don't like you.
We can do a whole episode to parents and is what's pushing too much and what's not pushing enough.
Yeah.
How involved do I get? We could do a whole episode, and what I would say quickly is I believe that from the ages 6 to 10, 6 to 11, the main job, the main purpose out there, have your kids fall in love with that sport.
Yeah.
That is the number one goal of that age, is let them fall in love with it, which is ice cream, friends, fun. It's all fun at that age. That is not the time to push them. That is not the time to force it. You don't want to go to practice today? It's okay for a 7-year-old.
Right.
You know, private lessons they can be boring and they can seem like a job. That's not the time. Let them fall in love with the sport. Make it exciting. Take them to athletic events, all that stuff. Once they fall in love with it, and you can know when that moment is, that's when you can start pushing a little harder. Yeah. Because they're hooked. But if you do it too early, then they're gonna end up regretting the sport, resenting is the word, resenting, and then you get into that dynamic. And I see that all the time with parents, is that they're just pushing at the wrong time.
I want to say one thing that I think parents are making a big mistake in baseball. I don't know other sports, but they start taking lessons really early. And then it's like when they get to high school, it's like, well, look, we're already spending money on summer ball teams. We've already spent all this money on gear and everything else. Like, you know, we've put in the work, and now it's his time to grow. And it's like, that is the opposite of what you need. Like, ideally, let them play, have fun when they're younger. And then once they get to junior high school, that's when we can start molding things. But that's when we need to start working on the mental side of things, the mental performance, like the swing, everything else. Like when you get to high school, if you want to play college baseball, that's the time to step on the gas, not do the opposite. And I see a lot of parents falling in that cycle of, we've already done all this, you know, like now just go out there and he's on his own. It's like, dude, that's not getting him ready for D1 college. You're going to get slapped in the face if you even get the opportunity to show up on campus.
I agree. And then for parents, like, it doesn't mean that you're lost, you know, you're not supposed to know everything. And that's is one of our goals here, you know, to guide you through this process, to, you know, bring guests that can help you navigate all this stuff. So meet your son, your daughter where they're at, right? And go from there. Make them fall in love with the sport, support them as much as you can, find the right mentors for them, and be patient about the process. Because one of the biggest mistakes that I see is just bouncing around from club to club, from coach to coach, from gemstone to gemstone. It's just stop, you know, just pursuing the flashiness all over the place in social media, whatever. Trust the process and trust in your kid that your kid can do it if they have the proper habits, the accountability, all that stuff. They're gonna get there.
Well, they gotta love it, and then they have those characteristics and discipline. They gotta love it first.
Yes.
So anything you can do to help them fall in love with that activity, whatever it is, that's when you can get to work. And another point is, there is a huge difference between the athletes that get to college and they're still fresh and they're still excited and curious about continuing to get better, versus the students that get to college because they already got the scholarship and that was it. If it was all about the scholarship, that's going to happen. They're going to get to college and they're going to be in the transfer portal, because the coach after 1 year is like, hey, just because you have the scholarship doesn't mean that you just get to hang out. Exactly. You got to continue to get better and earn it every day. But you got to have that energy. And when they're overcoached and overtrained and all that anxiety, and it was all about the scholarship, then they already had what they wanted. There's no more motivation. So, man, there's so much, you know, focus on the process, not results oriented. Tell us about, before we go, tell us about Children Cooks Hospital. And they have this 5K coming up, and I know you're very passionate about it.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. So I got to be around this child. It was when I was done playing TCU baseball, but I actually went to a podcast and I got to meet this young boy. His name was Micah, and you know, he earned the name Superhero Micah. He was battling neuroblastoma. It was a rare type of childhood cancer, and he lost his life 10 years ago. And this March, every March, Cook Children's does an event. It's a 5K, and they raise money to put it into childhood cancer and also support families who are going through it right now. And so this year just happens to fall on Micah's what would be 17th birthday. And so his dad set a goal. He formed a team, and his dad is an amazing person. Go to check out Grounds and Gold Coffee in Arlington. It's a really cool spot. But their goal is to raise $3,500 and for their team, for our team. And so I said, well, look, if I have a lot of kids who want to work with me, and just can't handle the investment. So it's like, if you are willing to make a donation to our team of any amount, if it's $1,000, amazing. If it's $17, like, come on in. I want to work with you, for that amount for 30 days. And if you don't gain 5 miles per hour of exit velo within 30 days, I'll keep working with you for free until you do. We're just trying to make this number as big as possible, smash that $3,500 number. And so I'm willing to kind of, put my neck out there a little bit and guarantee these kids, you're going to get better. Just donate whatever you can. Come work with me directly, and I'll help you get better in those 30 days.
So you're saying if you donate to this cause, for 30 days you will work with them?
Yep. Yeah,
regardless of the amount that they donate.
If you can throw $5 in, come on in. We're starting it live on February 28th. It's a 4-week challenge. So we hop on a call every week as the whole group, and we go through and we do it all together.
How can people get information on that?
So go to Instagram. I'll add it to my link in bio. Okay. You can DM me the word charity, and I'll send you a link to donate, and then I'll add you to our group. And February 28th, we'll start getting after it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thanks, guys. Cool. Yeah, appreciate you.
You should feel really good about that. I remember.
I've only raised $25 so far, so nothing yet.
Hey, come on. People will get out there. I mean, what winning you? I mean, you're basically saying instead of paying me, just donate, and I'll get to work with you.
Like we talked about, man, I think there's a real epidemic of kids trying things they see on social media, and they're not working with people who have actually been where they want to go. Like, come work with somebody who played at TCU, who played pro ball for 10 years. Like, I've walked through what you're going to experience, and I want to help you that process instead of just listening to whoever who has a bunch of followers on Instagram who, you're not going to have a relationship with them. They might not have a community and things like that. Like, this is a real... I really feel like the future of training, I don't know about tennis, but for sure baseball is online. Like the old model of one lesson a week, it's Band-Aid fixes, and I get to be in it. I show up every single day to our community. Somebody posts a video, I give feedback, I'm hopping on calls. Like, I show up every day. And so how could you not get better? This is what helped me in my career.
I saw you at TCU at 6 a.m.
I know.
Going into the batting cage. Yeah. And I'm like, what are you? He's like, I'm going to go work with this kid. I'm going to do some videos at 6 a.m. because you obviously...
That's my time. Yeah, that's my time.
You got 3 kids.
And then he practiced self-care, too, because we saw him at yoga the other day.
Hey, I'm talking to you a lot. It's great.
So it's good. I love that you're practicing yoga. Yoga is awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
it's great.
Awesome, Jantzen. Thank you. We've sort of ran out of time. I knew this was going to be great. I love what you're doing. You're doing it for the right reasons. If my kid was in baseball, hey, you remember you worked with my kid. I knew that.
I still got pictures.
In the batting with Max in the batting cage, and I think he had him say, "I love baseball, tennis sucks," or something.
Sorry about that.
No, that was great. That was great. I love it. That was awesome. You connected with them in just 10 minutes.
What were we doing? Were we over at the tennis facility? And I was like, hey, let me take him over to the cage.
Yeah, that's right. And
that was awesome. Yeah. I bet he's all grown up now. That's crazy.
He's into ice hockey, and now he says he wants to be a tennis player. So parents, I'm going exactly through that process right now. My kid is deciding to go from hockey. He wants to get into tennis. And I feel, 11 years old, like, okay, let's do it. And just parents out there, so we got to close the episode, but just know that everybody has different timelines. Yeah. There's not a timeline. There's not like this by this age, this by this age, this by... Again, if they love it, they will figure it out. But you just want the right people around your child so that you don't waste any time and you don't go into rabbit holes. I love that word.
Yeah,
so
me too.
Pick something, parents out there, listeners, pick something today that really stood out. Feel free to contact us at D1 Coaches Pod. Jantzen Witte on Instagram, and feel free to ask any questions. Thank you for joining us, Jantzen. Thank you so much for taking the time away from the 3 kids.
Yeah. I need this, man. This is my time, bro.
Get some coffee here at Match Point. It's awesome. And so from that, I would say from the courts
to the sand. This is D1 Coaches Pod. See you in the next set. Remember to subscribe, share, and comment. Whatever you want. Go Frogs.
Go Frogs.